Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is Faryal from Scrumptious Cakes by Fairy, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this Peppa Pig cake. So if you want to learn how to make this, then please keep on watching. So I'm going to start by making the rainbow topper first. So I have taken Renshaw flour paste and I have colored it purple with the sugar flare purple, and I'm rolling it like a thin sausage, but don't roll it too thin. Then I'm going to keep a shape like a rainbow. As you can see, I'm making an arch, then chopping off the excess. Then I'm rolling the blue color in the same Renshaw flour paste. So for the rainbow I'm using flour paste, so once it dries up it holds up the shape and sets hard. So now I'm layering up the blue color over that purple, and that's how I am going to prepare all the color. Now I am doing the green color and I'm just chopping off the excess. So after the green color, I'm going to layer up the yellow color and chop off the excess, and then I'm going to layer up the orange and again chop off the excess, and then in the end I'm going to add the red one. Now I'm going to stick all the layers. I'm using edible glue and I'm just applying some glue. You can use plain water as well, that works absolutely fine. So I am applying glue on each layer and then attaching another layer on the top, and that is how I'm going to attach all 6 layers. I have 6 colors in here. So once you have attached all the layers, I'm going to use these cocktail sticks. I have dipped the cocktail sticks into the glue and now I'm pushing them in the rainbow. So I'm going to add quite few in there so we have good support inside the rainbow, and I'm leaving some at the bottom so we can like push them into the cake. So I have rolled out orange flour paste and I'm going to use these blossom plunger cutters, and I'm going to cut 2 blossoms from the orange, and then I'm going to cut 4 round centers in yellow color, and then 2 more blossoms from the fuchsia color. And then I'm going to use my Dresden tool and will make some lines halfway through each petal, and then I'm going to stick the yellow centers using the edible glue. And once the flowers are ready, I am going to leave them aside to dry completely. I'm rolling yellow flour paste and I'm rolling quite thick, and then I'm using the embossing rolling pin on the top to create a design or texture. Then I have used number 3 to cut number 3 from that, and I'm pushing some cocktail sticks dipping into the edible glue. Then I'm going to leave it aside to dry up. I'm brushing some plain water over the top of the cake drum or cake board, whatever you call it. And then I'm going to cover it with this Renshaw Lincoln Green fondant. I'm applying the fondant over the wet cake drum, and then I'm going to use the plastic smoother to smooth the fondant out. I'm using the knife to cut the excess fondant which is hanging over the edges of the cake drum. I'm taking a 6-inch cake card and I'm going to make the indentation over the top of the drum where I want my cake to go, so I don't mess up when I push my cake onto the cake board. Now I have here the 6-inch cake which is already ganache. I didn't add the ganaching part in this video because I don't want this to be too long. So if you want to see how I ganache this cake, please watch my other video which I'm going to link in the description down below. So I'm just brushing some plain water over this cake. I have rolled some light blue fondant which I'm going to use to cover the cake. Now I'm going to apply the fondant on the cake. So the first thing I'm going to do is smooth the top to release any air underneath, and then I'm going to secure the edges. So keep opening up the plates and work with a small section at a time. While you are smoothing it out, make sure that you are smoothing it out in a downwards motion. So while you are attaching the fondant to the cake, you are releasing the air underneath the fondant. So work with a small section at a time and keep smoothing downwards. Now I'm quickly smoothing the cake with this plastic smoother, and once I have smoothed it out, I'm going to use the knife and cut the excess fondant around the cake. I have covered this 12-inch cake drum with the non-stick paper or baking paper, and I'm going to turn this cake upside down, and I'm using the acetate smoother, and I'm smoothing the edges of the cake to achieve the sharp edges look. If you want to see how I cover the cake with fondant in a full detailed version, then I will link that video down in the description below, so do check that out. Now I'm switching to the bigger acetate smoother, and I am smoothing the sides of the cake, and once I'm happy the way it looks, I'm going to flip it back and then remove the top drum. Now I'm going to take the acetate smoother and smooth the top quickly. I'm adding some ganache, which is going to act as a glue to stick our cake to the board, and now I'm taking these acetate smoothers and I'm going to hold the cake and move it onto the mark which we made earlier with the 6-inch cake card. I'm going to smooth out the sides of the cake quickly in case I have made any marks while moving the cake to the board. I have rolled this green fondant, and I have treated this fondant with Tylose powder, so it's a bit stretchy and firm. I'm using this Dresden tool to create some sort of mountains, and then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife to cut along the marks. Roll up the mountain strip like you roll the carpet. This is the easiest way to attach any strip along the sides of the cake. I'm going to add some glue on the cake, and then I'm going to attach the first part of the mountain strip, and then I am going to unroll the mountain strip. So while I'm unrolling the mountain strip, I'm going to add some glue over the mountain strip and then keep unrolling and attaching it to the cake. So add the glue to the mountain strip, unroll and attach to the cake. So that's how I'm going to attach the whole strip around the cake. So in the end, I'm going to cut the overlapping part with the X-Acto knife and then glue it back together. I'm rolling some yellow fondant to cut out the Peppa Pig house, and I have added Tylose powder in this fondant, so it is a bit stretchy and firm. Now I'm taking the Dresden tool and making the top triangular part of the house, and now I'm taking this orange fondant and I'm overlapping that triangle part to make the roof of the house orange, and I'm using the Dresden tool to mark it down where I need to cut. I'm going to cut along that markings using my X-Acto knife. Now I'm adding some glue over the roof of the house and I'm attaching that orange bit, and where these corners are coming off the house, I'm going to cut them using the X-Acto knife. Now I'm going to cut white windows. I'm going to cut about 6 of them, and then I'm going to attach it using the glue. Now I'm going to stick this house over a hill on the side of the cake. I'm rolling this lavender color fondant to create a name plaque to go at the front of the cake. I'm going to use these FMM Funky Fonts tappets to cut the name, and I have rolled some baby pink modeling paste very thinly, and I'm using these tappets to cut out the name. Now I'm going to stick the name over that lavender color patch. I'm going to use my Dresden tool to make a similar design plaque to the Peppa Pig cartoon, as you can see, and then I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to cut along those lines. I'm using the stitching wheel tool to create a stitching pattern along the edges of this plaque, and I'm going to attach this plaque at the front of the cake. I'm rolling out some yellow fondant and cutting a round circle to make a sun, and I'm attaching it on the other side of the plaque, and then I am attaching very thin strips to make the sun rays. I rolled out some white fondant and cut out 3 clouds using the FMM cloud cutters, and I'm going to attach those 3 clouds on the cake. I'm taking the 2 cake pop sticks and some edible glue, and I'm attaching those cake pop sticks at the back of the blossom flower which we cut out earlier. I'm going to attach one at the back of the orange flower and one at the back of the fuchsia flower. I'm cutting 2 more small clouds to go on the 2 ends of the rainbow. I'm applying some glue on the rainbow to attach it to the cake. My rainbow is pretty firm because I let it dry overnight. Now I'm pushing the rainbow into the cake, and I'm going to attach the clouds on the two ends. I'm taking the red modeling paste to make the body of the Peppa Pig. I'm rolling it out like a teardrop shape, and once I have the teardrop shape, I'm going to flatten the bottom of the teardrop, and this is going to be the body of the Peppa Pig. I'm rolling out a smooth ball from the pink modeling paste to make the head of Peppa Pig, and now I'm pinching out the nose of Peppa, and I'm going to shape it a little bit more, and once I have the nose, I'm going to flatten up the end part of the nose. And now I'm going to attach this head to the body. I'm pushing in the cocktail stick in the body. I'm using a ball tool to make the eye sockets and a smaller ball tool to make the nostrils. Roll out two very tiny balls from hot pink fondant and attach it to the sides of the cheek, and before you attach, flatten the balls up a little bit. I'm taking the same color fondant and rolling it out very thinly, and I'm going to add the mouth of Peppa Pig. Add some glue or water and attach that mouth. Roll out two tiny white balls and attach it into the eye sockets. I'm brushing some glue over the cocktail stick, and now I'm going to push the head over that cocktail stick, and that's how I'm going to attach the head to the body. Now I'm going to make Peppa's ears, and to make the ears I'm rolling pink modeling paste into a thick sausage, and then I'm going to cut it in half to make two ears. And now I'm going to take a flat end modeling tool and I'm going to press gently in the middle, and I'm going to cut the excess from the two ends of the ears, and I'm going to attach these onto the Peppa's head. I first marked the place where I want to stick the ears, and then I applied some glue around that area and just pushed in the ears. Now I'm rolling out pink modeling paste very thinly, like a spaghetti, and I'm going to use this to make the Peppa's hands. So I'm just cutting it into halves, and now I'm going to make two cuts to make 3 fingers. Now I'm cutting the top part of the hands at an angle, and I'm applying some glue and then attaching the hands on both sides of Peppa like this. Now I'm adding the legs. I'm just going to take small pieces from the same rolled spaghetti because I'm going to add Peppa's boots in the end. To make the boots of Peppa Pig, I'm going to roll down 2 black modeling paste ball, and then I'm going to roll it like a teardrop shape, and then with the help of my finger I'm going to flatten the top a little bit. I'm rolling 2 very tiny balls from black modeling paste, and I'm going to add the eyes. I'm attaching the Peppa Pig to the cake by adding some glue underneath, and then I'm going to add the legs. And once the legs are attached, I'm going to attach the boots like this. Now I'm going to push in the flowers on the sticks we made earlier on one side. I'm rolling out a red flower paste very thinly, and then I'm going to cut out the lettering from this. And I'm going to use the click sticks to cut out the letters, and I have removed the back side of the click sticks because I do not like the imprint or the indentation they leave on the letters, so I just use them as a tappets more than the click sticks, if that makes any sense. And I'm adding some glue at the back of the letters, and I am attaching those letters at the front of the cake board. And in the end of both sides of the message, I am going to add the 2 flowers. One is big and one is small. It's the same flower we made to go on the sticks. I'm sticking 3 small blossoms over name plaque. I'm also going to stick a small blossom over the number 3. I'm adding some glue underneath the number 3, and I'm going to attach it to the cake. And voila, our cake is ready. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support means so much to me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!